Peer pressure as an adult is seeing your neighbor mow their lawn.
Every time I mow mine, my neighbor is outside within 30 minutes mowing his. It's not fair because my neighbor is retired, so he has literally nothing else to do but make his yard look amazing. Haha. This is true. Peer pressure as a kid is others pressuring you to do something you don't want to do. Peer pressure as an adult is seeing other people doing stuff you should be doing. This is a good thing if you live in a declining neighborhood like I do. If you start picking up trash and maintaining your yard, and generally give the appearance that someone gives a shit, next thing you know, a couple of other neighbors will too. Voila! Chain reaction of neighborhood improvement. I was raking leaves on our little pie wedge of a shared front lawn, making a huge pile for my son to jump in. There's about 3 feet from the property line to the start of the neighbor's driveway. I figure I'll rake the leaves on his side up too. Neighbor dude comes charging out of the house. No, just leave them. I was just gonna do it. Quote, oh hey, sorry, I was just making the pile bigger for the little guy. Oh okay then, if he's gonna jump in them. Otherwise though, don't worry, I'll take care of my side. Fine buddy, you do you. No pressure.
The Kardashian family is made up of a man who transformed into a woman. Tiresias. Sisters who so ravenously crave attention they'll do anything to get it. Harpies. And a mother slowly turning to stone due to plastic surgery. Nabi. The Kardashians are Greek myths come to life for the 21st century.
Rick Riordan, get on it. That is one hell of a shower thought. Applause. As time goes on, the more I've forgotten the Kardashians exist. And a fool who makes random nonsensical proclamations. Pythia. Harpies aren't usually depicted as attention seekers. Perhaps sirens.
In 1015 years, gamer dads will join the sports dads who could have gone pro if it weren't for.
You all joke, but I legit could have gone pro if it weren't for the fact that I absolutely sucked ass at every competitive esport. Someone just having to use the microwave at the worst moment possible. My mate's already like that. Apparently a top 10 world champion at Mario Kart. So I'm sure when his kids are playing Mario Kart 28, he'll be telling that same OL story. I am not afraid to admit I suck at video games. Still love them though. We're gonna have dads pressuring their kids into video games so they can live their dreams vicariously through them.
If you think you ever fricked up bad, just remember somewhere an ant brought borax-laced food to the colony, killing the queen and the colony.
I used to keep a copy of an online story on the wall of my work cubicle about a guy who built a building on the wrong lot. No way you're hiding that frick up. Edit. It would have been around 2005. I think it was from the career advice syndicated columnist Carol Canchier. I even ransacked my house to see if I still have it somewhere. I'm trying. Reddit. Yay, but he didn't have to live with the cringe waking him up in the middle of the night. One of my best friends said this to me a few years back when I thought I fricked up something beyond repair. Look dude, it's not like you killed their dog. Fucking relax. I like to think some renegade ant one day said frick it, and then proceeded to bring it back on purpose. Nothing better than the grimace look on my face watching the line of ants take back death to their entire colony.
Grass is freaking weird. It's a living organism, and it's everywhere. There's so much of it, and it will probably never go extinct. It's so common that its absence would actually be more noticeable than its existence. Nobody ever thinks about it. But it gets even weirder if you think about it longer.
There's different types of grass though. It's not a single monolith species that's coated the world. It screams a scent when you cut it. Why doesn't it die when we step on it? The wooden floor in your room or the bones of once living organisms. I always imagined a future intergalactic human civilization being terrifying to all other species. Much like the alien growths that take over in horror shows. Other aliens would be terrified of these tall, warlike humans and the strange green growth that they cover their conquered worlds with.
In 1920, kids thought 100 years from now, people must have flying cars. But really, a massive worldwide network of data utilizing the processing power of billions of devices allowing complex communication across the globe is somehow more impressive.
Who needs flying cars when you never leave the house? And it's used for this. I feel like we could have had flying cars by now easily. It's more a lack of necessity and being a huge challenge from _a regulation every point of view. And #X200B. Edit. Wasn't meant to make my list of reasons sound so exhaustive. I mean, flying cars would be really impractical for common usage. I doubt we will ever stop using ground-based transportation. At least not in the next 200 years. I just can't see their efficiency justifying their costs. In 1985, people thought we would have flying cars by 2015. See Back to the Future.
Imagine how rich you would have had to be 200 years ago to have music playing in the background while you cook dinner.
Rich enough you wouldn't be cooking your own dinner. 200 years ago, imagine how rich I'd need to be to look at pictures of naked people in rapid succession while I masturbate. Painters aren't cheap. This makes me wonder, how common was it for the average person to listen to music 200 years ago? Sheet music was originally marketed to families to play their own music for themselves. In enlightened places in Europe, it's possible to have a few of your kids practicing and jamming on their musical instruments. It wasn't a pauper thing, but not just for the super rich. Not necessarily rich. You just needed one or more musicians in the family.
Knowing you have the next day off is more relieving than the actual day off.
The actual day off is stressful because you feel it slipping away. Yeah, that's because one sleeps knowing that he doesn't have to wake up hurriedly. I usually spend that day thinking, shit, I need to do something productive or fuck, I gotta get up tomorrow. That's how Monday blues formulate. Knowing tomorrow is Monday feels worse than Monday itself. Friday, Sunday, proposition very true.
When we're young, we sneak out our house to go to parties. When we're old, we sneak out of parties to go home.
Good one. Although, I just avoid parties now that I'm older. I've always been old because I always snuck out to go home. I love home. It's where all my comfortable things are and least favorite things aren't. My favorite part about getting older is being able to embrace my introvertedness. When I was younger, I always felt social pressure to always be out at parties. Now, it's more socially acceptable to just chill out at home on weekends. Irish goodbye is the best way to leave. Hell, I avoided parties from 18, and that was a lot of decades ago.
The banana is no longer the food item that looks most phone-like. The Pop-Tart is,
with your choice of raspberry, strawberry or blueberry OS. But, ring 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 ring. Banana phone. This is an absolutely significant statement in these modern days. Upvotes for you. Banana still looks a lot like other things though, so I'm sure we will live on. I like putting my phone in the toaster too.
Instead of amaze, cause in a couple hundred years when archaeologists are sifting through data on old computers, someone's accidentally going to unleash an ancient computer virus into their network.
This is the plot of A Fire Upon the Deep. Archaeologists accidentally wake a 5 billion-year-old super-intelligent computer virus. More like they are going to revive old chain litters. And instead of 1999's The Mummy, they will make 4789's The Malware. But instead of Brendan Fraser, there'll be some computer geek. And instead of scarab bugs, there will be bugs. And instead of some mythical bracelet in the sequel, there will be Galaxy Note 7. Could have been an interesting premise for a movie if it were a plausible scenario. But considering the constant changes in hardware architecture, communication protocols and security improvements, it's pretty much impossible for a modern virus to be effective even just 10 years from now. Whomever disturbs this tomb will have all of their photos sent to all of their contacts.
When looking at the stars, you become the unique, final resting place for billions of photons that traveled thousands of light years only to make your life a little brighter.
Well, that's just beautiful. But to the photon, their existence ended in the same instant it started. Best shower thought in a long while. Fantastic. I really need to get out of the city for a weekend and go somewhere with little light pollution. I forget just how impossibly beautiful a clear night sky is. Remember, you're a star fart with a personality.